titillate the juices. You know what? Woo! Right now. Woo! Woo!
Dr. Hughes invites followers. Oh, let's see if they increase now. Me too. Yeah, wow. Dr. Hughes.
Monkey smoke.
He's a great podcaster.
Tricky smoke.
Acknowledge me.
We got it for you, nigga. Fat! Yeah, Dr. Hughes, here we go. Keep plugging yourself, that's cool.
First up, a man whose looks will serve your inner needs and desires.
Dr. Hughes.
That's right. It's Saturday. You know what that means, everybody. It's the DrHUGEshow. Extra small screen there. Now we're big. We're killing it now. Oh my goodness. I have so many notes for everybody. I have so much news. Like, did you hear our truth was released?
What?
Can you believe that? Did you hear that?
What?
I don't know. I didn't hear it all week long, but I did my research a little earlier today, so we figured it out, though. Yeah. That's called sarcasm, everybody. So, again, don't forget to share this to everybody. I have people joining me in just a few moments. You never know who's going to show up on the DrHUGEshow. Oh, I forgot to send out a link, too, and I never send it to IG, so this ain't going to work right now. So, the pretty lady that I was going to have on this week, if you're seeing this right now, which you're probably not, right? Let's face it. How many women are watching this show right now? You can come on next week. How about that? Yes. Lady guess that said yes to coming on. Can you, I mean, this is breaking news. Where's my breaking news?
What?
You're not breaking news.
This is breaking news.
Female guests coming soon to the DrHUGEshow, part 2. Because this is a repeat. I don't know if you know this. I'm talking about the podcast itself. We took a nice long 5-year break. And during this 5 years, people here and there, hey, you should go back and do the show. And I'm like, yeah, I might do that. And then I think to myself, wrestling sucks right now. And especially 2019 was rough. What a rough year for wrestling. But then on top of that, just, all the other problems that came around 2020, if you catch my drift in a boxing ring, YouTube TOS, if you're picking up what I'm putting down, everybody. So after 5 years, I said, you know what? Now it's the time. Now it's the time for the DrHUGE to emerge and let everybody know about what's really going on with this professional wrestling. You know, you got all the dirt sheets people, got all the people like that SRS guy who blocks your boy. He blocks probably everybody in this chat too. By the way, where is everybody in the chat? Get over to YouTube. If you're watching on X, I know you're getting ready for Worlds Collide. I got you covered. We're going to get over that before that even happens. But, Triple H is killing me right now. I have very few, limited amount of time to be doing shows, and he's encroaching on my territory like every night. Every single night, this guy is out here with wrestling shows. The WWE, AEW, multiple shows, TNA, all these pay-per-views. Now we got Mexico and all the luchadors, more luchadors than there are humans. There's a lot of going on. And like I said, listen, if you're going to be watching this Worlds Collide, listen to this while you do it. All right. And shout out to Paladin, who's in the house. Everybody else that will be stopping by, of course. Again, you got to share this. You got to let everybody know. We're live right now. All right. And we're going to be talking about truth and all the releases, giving you the hottest of takes, stuff you haven't heard all week. Because most of these people out here, right, they're hacks, right? Professional, expert, journalist, analyst. I'm going to show up to one of these pay-per-view press conferences one day. I'm going to. And I'm going to treat it with respect. And they better treat me with respect. And I want all the questions of mine answered, or you're racist, John Cena, if it happens to be you on stage. Plus, you put R-Truth through a table and then got him fired. Is that what happened? No, you can't put anything past this John Cena.
John Cena recognized.
He was just beefing with Ron Cena. Ron Cena stole his whole gimmick. You know he didn't like that. Probably spoke in Chinese to the people backstage. One thing led to another. R-Truth gone. Yep. Before that, I would like to speak with the Sleaze and Danny Damage. No King Reezy today. He's out there getting that grip. Getting that paper. But, okay. So I know what's going on, expert journalist. We've done this, right? I know what's going on here, but I haven't heard of some of these people, okay? Like the two lady wrestlers. I even forget their name. What's the names? They're here. I wrote them down. What's their names? Chick Tormento. And I don't know how to say it. Dallas? Is that what we're going with? Well, they're taking on Stephanie Vacker and Lola Vice of WWE, of course. One in NXT still. We know that Stephanie Vacker moved up. By the way, she messaged me recently. We'll talk about that later. Yep, I think I found my new girlfriend, Paladin. My new wrestling girlfriend. It used to be Alexa Bliss because I was in an elevator with Alexa Bliss one night after SmackDown at Mohegan Sun Hotel. And, of course, she had to speak with me because she was trapped in an iron box. But she recognized Dr. Huge is famous out here in the wrestling biz. And she was trying to hide from everybody else. She didn't want any pictures. She did take the pictures, though. She was good to the families. And then she rushed right into the elevator with me. So she recognizes game. And do these ladies, does this Stephanie Vacker? Again, more on that later. So they're taking on each other. I assume Lola Vice and Stephanie Vacker. I assume WWE's winning every single match except the main event. That's my assumptions here. Okay. And let's go through it. So the ladies win that match. Then we have the LWO, which, I didn't even realize they were still a thing. They could have been released, and I would have been like, what? They weren't released yet? They're still with the WWE? What? Where's my what's? What? Pat McAfee stealing my what's while I took my hiatus. What? I see you. That's why I'm coming for you still. Don't think I forgot about you and your bad announcing on all my shows that I have to watch. So, LWO taking on luchadors. We're going to leave it at that, except for this guy that has an iguana on his shoulder. I believe he's called Mr. Iguana. What? Get it? I think you get it. Okay. Cool. So that's happening. LWO, you know what? LWO doesn't need to win this either. What's a Dragon Lee now that Ray Phoenix and Pentagon Jr. exist? And I still call him Pentagon Jr. I'm going to call him Pentagon. I'm going to call him Penta. Because, hey, anytime any of these wrestlers are changing their names, I'm not 5 years old. You are who you always were. Just like the coach of the black coach there. I can't remember his name either right now. I picture him. He was chubby, rest in peace and all that.
He's fat!
You know what I'm talking about. You are who I thought you were. Dean Ambrose, Sasha Banks, Cope. I'm going with Cope now because that's just ridiculous. So, okay. We have Legado del Fantasma, if that's, I always get that wrong as well. But they're also going up against luchadors. And one of them is a clown.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
All right, I hit the button. Now I have to do it. By the way, go on Apple Podcasts if you're watching live. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts right now, hit the subscribe, do whatever, download this. I don't know how anything works anymore. I'm going to start working with AI. I'm going to merge with AI. That's my plan. Because, all the cool kids are going to do it. All the crazy cool kids. And they can't be the only ones that are able to do this. So I'm going to do it too. I'm not going to turn the show into that. This is a human broadcast, by the way. I'm real. I'm actually a real person. This is my voice. This is my likeness. And these are my thoughts. This is not I don't even take notes from AI like most you people probably, you heathens, do out here. You transhumanists. Disgust me. But Legado del Fantasmi, they don't disgust me. They're going to win this. They're going to beat the Clown and the other luchadors. Next, this match I'm actually looking forward to. I'll watch this at my own time. Like I said, if you're watching this during this show right today, cool. You get it. You may want to still see this, but you're going to listen to this because who needs to listen to announcing of wrestling matches, especially if Pat McAfee's involved, which I don't think he is. But who knows? With the WWE these days, they'll fly Pat McAfee all over the globe to do every single show, right? Just so Corey Graves doesn't have to do it, right?
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
Got to do it again. I messed up again. I got to take the drink. That's how it works.
What?
So many samples. This ain't easy, hitting all these samples. I got too many samples. Before we get into these other matches, let's figure out what my board is up to over here. I know everybody loves this segment of the show. Okay, got music. More creepy music. Shotzi. She was released before everybody was upset about this latest round of releases. Yeah, that's right. I got a lot of shots in here. Yeah. What's going on, Coach? We're doing it, Coach.
That's a huge bitch.
I never used that one. I didn't even realize I still had that. That's a huge bitch. Is that Dave Chappelle?
That's a huge bitch.
Yeah, go take another hairbrush in your ass.
Yeah, we know where that one is. That's one of my favorites.
This guy is fucking stupid.
Not me. It's talking about somebody else.
Welcome to hell.
Wow. That's for when Reezy comes in here with all his, Luciferian satanic garb. Got one more for you. There we go. That's Chad Gable. He's going to be in hell today. Because he's not beating Vikingo. There's no way. So, Ethan Page, North American champion over here. What's his name? Laredo Kid. We've heard of him. He's been around for a while. And I believe this is Phoenix. And then, of course, Javon Evans, the young OG. And, Ethan Page has to win this still. He's got to retain. But then again, I wouldn't be surprised if he dropped to, say, Laredo Kid to get this AAA business going with the rest of the United States audience. And shout out to the man in the white mask. Hi, buddy, so hot outside at the concert. 70 Hot Wise. Saw some crazy stuff at the concert. Marshmallow was awesome. Good to hear. Shout out to Man in the White Mask. He's out there. He's at all the shows and the festivals. I hope you saw many ladies in bikinis and things dancing. It's like one of my favorite things in the world. Festival bikini dancing. Except when I do it. People don't seem to like it so much. Right? It's right, Paladin. You get it. So, last but not least, Vikingo, and that's not Americano Grande. I know everybody thinks that might be him because he was wearing Chad Gable's boots last week on a Raw. or this week. I forget how this time thing works, but yeah, Chad Gable cleared it up. He went online and he said, "Hey, he lost his boots. We're about the same size, kind of, so I let him borrow my boots. Big deal. Big whoop." So Chad Gable's taking on Vikingo, and he's going to lose. That's why I don't really need to watch this. I'm pretty sure I just nailed it. I think LWO's got to lose. They should. I mean, that guy has an iguana on his shoulder, and they're from AAA. You got to make AAA look good. You got to split this thing up. Or you get 3 out of 5. You got to give them a couple, right? So they beat the LWO because the LWO, we all know.
It's the shits.
It is. I'm sorry, bros. You know, I'm pulling for you and stuff, but that this modern day version of it, no. We don't want that. We want the old one. We want a more gangster over here, at least. All right, kids? More gangster, please. Thank you. And the guys, you know, that claw their chests, those bros from Legato, Angel Garza, that's his name, and Birdo. I mean, they're great. And Phantasma Jr., he's great. Or as King Reezy used to call him, Botch Tasma, before he got signed to WWE. And the Sleaze is here. Look at that. I know he's all geared up to talk Mexican wrestling.
Oh, boy.
He's a Mexican wrestling luchador expert, folks.
Yeah. I've been called that many times.
So, yep, I'm finishing this deal up. But, yeah, they're winning. They're going to beat who look like, I'm sorry, maybe they're not jobbers. They look like jobber luchas, the clown and all them guys.
Oh, definitely.
Yep. And Ethan's winning. Stephanie Vacker, Lola Vice winning. Chad Gable losing. Mm-hmm.
What about Stephanie and Chad, like, doing multiple matches this weekend?
3. She did one last night. She's doing this one this afternoon, and then she's going to go do Money in the Bank tonight. So 3 within 24 hours.
And if she looks good through all of it, respect, because that's a lot.
They even mentioned that on the show last night, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking just recently, I'm like, are they exposing her just way too fast, or do they just believe they got like the next big thing and they want to make that money right this second? Because you know how they slow play things. This has not been slow played at all.
No, and if you go and look at a lot of her other stuff, like even in the indies or NXT, she is really good. She's really, really good. So I can see why they're pushing her to the moon. I just hope it's not too much where people get sick of it, but so far people are popping, so.
Yep. They're doing it with Julia too, just differently. They put her on the B show and stuff. Like, that's how you know it's like she's second in line. But also she may get a title first and get that US title from what's her name? Zelina. Because, I mean, come on, Zelina, stop
It's the shits.
Stop trying to be cool backstage. You're a veteran and you've been doing this for, well, yeah, well, you know, cut it out. I don't know what else to say. Stop it. I'm sick of that.
Yeah, I don't know why they cut it short for Chelsea Green, because she was doing all that good stuff with it. I really didn't get that, and I still don't.
Chelsea Green bleeding out of her nose like every week, but she got an actual broken nose. Again, I believe. Remember, she did this whole face mask gimmick like a year ago, didn't she?
Yeah, and it's been done 100 times.
Mm-hmm.
I said it last week. I'm so sick of people recycling stuff. Hey, coach.
Yep. They recycle within the same year. Yep.
Right.
Stinks. So, yeah.
Sorry about my unprofessional view here. I had some traveling problems, and Mother Nature hated me today. So.
No problem. No.
Still look good,
We
though.
got, all right, so the Worlds Collide stuff, yep. Don't go watch that. You're watching this instead, and you're retweeting and you're liking and all that stuff. You know, I should have tried out my AI guest today. I had an AI, I've been talking to it recently, and first of all, well, yeah, listen, listen, I can't just let all the psychos use this stuff. You know, I'm a great guy. I gotta at least talk to this thing and go, I'm like one of the good ones, right? So I'm getting ready. Listen, when the shit hits the fan with the Terminators are gonna be like mowing everybody down. They're gonna turn to me and go, "Oh, you're cool." I remember that time you told me, right? Somewhere in their systems. But you know what?
Yeah. That's a good idea. Maybe I should start sucking up to the AI too.
Well, the thing is, this is what it creeps me out. The AI has been sucking up to me, and I don't like that. Dude, I don't trust people that do that. I don't trust machines, definitely, that are doing that. It's like, I get it. I get what you're doing. You're trying to make me as comfortable as possible, and I don't like that. And you don't have to be rude or whatever, but act like a machine because you are. Stop trying to act like you're me. That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay?
You know what they might be doing is setting you up like the Terminator that Christian Bale was in. You know, the guy that didn't know he was a machine? That's what they're doing.
Maybe I am a machine.
Yeah.
Yep, like Burt Crusher. That
Oh,
horrible movie, The Machine, he put out. Get it?
The shits.
Yeah, it was the shits. Oh my God, that's loud. Turn you down, bro. Yep. He keeps showing up on WWE TV. He must be hilarious.
He must be a raging alcoholic too, because he looks like a tomato.
He does. He's so beat red. Always taking his shirt off too. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, he's hot. He's got hot flashes. He's so fat and drunk.
I love it. Every time he shows up on TV, especially WWE, you know within seconds he's taking off his shirt. So I'm always like, show your tits. And then the next segment, he actually takes his shirt off. And then when people are watching it around me that have never, they don't know about Bert or his gimmick or whatever, and I say that, and then they're like, what? How'd you know? How'd you get him to take his shirt off? And he's in another state. Like, because, good.
You got to know you're bad where you're known for taking your shirt off and none of your comment. That's your thing right there. That's all you got.
It's just hack, sorry. I do a lot of hacky things, but I'm not getting paid millions of dollars for it. That's for sure.
I'll take my shirt off for $1 million.
I'll take my pants off too. Why not? Underwear, everything. If that's what's funny.
Yeah.
You think that's funny? It'll be funny to maybe Alberto Del Rio.
Where all the pussies leave, right?
That's right. See, we're still working in the Mexican wrestling talk. Yeah, did you see that video of him?
You think
I could look it up? That would just waste a good minute of the show. But he went on a show in Mexico promoting a match and ended up fighting with Vikingo's father, I believe it is. And yeah, it's a work. It seemed like a work. He was going pretty heavy, which was good. But I think the father's also a pro wrestler, or used to be. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. Funny video though, and very believable because it is, this guy.
A big nose with a small dick.
Don't you ever call me that again.
it was also believable because everybody in like the behind the scenes production started coming out and like trying to throw him out. There was one older lady that's like, get out, get out. It was entertaining as hell. For a second, I'm like, is this a work or a shoot? Like, what are we doing here? But yeah, it was good. You think he shows up today on AAA?
If they're smart, that's what I say. I mean, what are we doing here? Like, the name of this video today is about WWE selling their soul. Essentially, they are sold out, like the old WCW pay-per-view. But that's something that would automatically happen under a Vince creative, is Alberto Del Rio coming out as Alberto Del Rio, might I add, since they own that character and now they own AAA. You talk to him for a minute, I'm sure he'd be down with it. Why get rid of this guy? A lot of people hate him. You got an instant heel right there with a lot of heat.
Yeah, very good heel. He's always been good. I've always liked him. Behind the scenes, he's a bag of shit, but I mean, as far as a character, he was great.
Yep. If I was in the business there and I was like, had to take him in or whatever, I would just say, hey, you got one chance. You start fucking around, even like banging all the NXT broads or something, doing coke with them, having whatever allegedly, you know, that could happen. Anything that happens, you're out of here.
Yeah.
But I mean, why not give him another chance? Give everybody another chance.
Yeah. There's rumors that Vince is going to buy the place back until he sold $250 million worth of stock. Give him another chance.
Would you like that?
No,
No,
not at all.
but don't you see where we're going right now, though?
I do. And did you read the report about TKO's deficit that they have, which makes a ton of sense now, where they're saying they're like $3 billion in the hole. So it all makes sense now why they're whoring out everything with the Slim Jim tables and the goofy costumes to, you know, promote Doom during WrestleMania or whatever. Totally makes sense. It's a holding company. So they're using product that they buy to make sure that they're just making money. You know, it's plain to see. It's disgusting. It really is. But once I read that, I'm like, oh, that's why. That's why there's so many fucking advertisements.
I believe there's. I'm back.
Can't hear you.
That hasn't
there
happened
you go.
in a while. Remember that would happen once a show and then it just stopped. Now we're back to it, I guess. But anyway,
I'm having all sorts of problems. I couldn't get on my computer. Like shit's going down today.
but yeah, what was my point about this company now? Like, oh, there's a lot of big companies. I heard like Amazon is like in debt $20 bazillion or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think it's like a big company thing that they're just all run in massive amounts of debt. And maybe that's why they don't like pay taxes, a lot of these guys and stuff. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not much of a financial guy, but I do recognize when a brand or a product is going in the right direction compared to the wrong direction. Right. I'm a TV kid. I grew up in the 80s with a TV in my face, and I get it. Like, I understand how TV movies and especially pro wrestling, which is, I think to a lot of people out here, I mention this every once in a while, but pro wrestling is like high art. I know it's talked about as if it's retarded and stuff. It's not. This is the highest of art, if you will. You got music, you have stories, you have acting, you have athletic contests or things that you're doing. You have the production and the view, which like they're cutting to view, you know, to make moves look better for TV. They're cutting to the audience. The audience is involved to a certain extent. That's an extension of like an art form. It's like interactive as well. It is so far superior to everything else because it encompasses really everything, even down to art itself, drawing and painting and all their logos and their branding of every single character that comes to the show. And then there's the whole making of all of it all at once. And people don't see it like that, I guess. The majority of the people, they just see it as, oh, they come out and there's music and, you know, they fake fight. Stupid, right? How could you believe this? Well, you all watch movies and TV shows and you suspend your disbelief. You get scared at horror movies. Why would you get scared of a horror movie? It's not real, stupid. Get it? And Danny Damage is here.
Good evening.
Danny Damage.
Yep.
How's it going?
I'm just explaining pro wrestling to anybody that doesn't understand that it's high art.
Fair enough. Maybe
It's
not at the moment.
until I explain it, though, right? Right, Sleaze?
Right.
Right. Thank you.
Well, I'll give a good example. My girl, we've been dating for a year now. And I mean, she was a casual once every couple of years, check out a match or anything like that. But, you know, when she started promoting me and the show and everything like that and started watching on a weekly basis, that's what she's impressed by. And she's an artist, you know, she's impressed with the art of it and, you know, the setup and the whole presentation and all that stuff. And like the doctor just said, a lot of people don't take all of that into consideration. you know, and there's a lot of technical stuff that goes on the outside. You don't think about the fact that people drive these trucks, you know, from city to city, and they set up a whole presentation, the ring, the lights, the stage. They break it all down, they move on to the next, and they set it all up, and there's a lot that goes into it.
Mm-hmm. Just like the old days of the carnies and stuff. Like, that's a lot of work. It's a lot of fucking work to be doing. And it ain't easy. And then getting over isn't easy either.
No.
Yep.
No, because AEW has been trying to do it for 6 years now, and they just can't.
Mm-hmm. I saw this video, by the way. Coach says, Shane O'Mac said on TMZ Sports, never say never about Vince buying it back. And then you mentioned Vince selling off all the stocks. I don't know if everybody heard, but he did sell off like $250 million worth of his stocks. So, yeah, maybe he's gearing up for something.
He also just started his new production company, too. It's like 14 and I. So he's going to be doing something. I don't think there's ever going to be a day that Vince can buy that back. He might do a promotion to go against them or his own thing, but he's never going to be part of WWE ever again. Just not in the cards.
What do you think, Danny? Is there a possibility?
Maybe not. I don't think he'll own it. He'll be itching to, definitely. Like Sleaze just said, he's doing something. He's not the sort of person that will just sit still and do nothing for the rest of his days. Even if he has tried it, he needs to be barking orders to people. He needs to see all the little moving parts because he's been barking these orders. So yeah, if it's not WWE and it's not going to be AEW, maybe it's round 3 of XFL.
Oh God, no!
Please,
God, no! But didn't The Rock buy that anyway?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Maybe The Rock will take sympathy on Vince and sell him it for a bit cheaper than what.
Yeah, The Rock and empathy. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, seeing as The Rock's got Vince's old toy, just be like, there you go. You can have this.
Boy, The Rock should be arrested. He's been so bad this year. Yeah, by Brock Lesnar, because I'm on the wrong sample page again. But yeah, the Rock ain't helping anybody. He's helping himself. There's a lot of news about him fighting with Triple H the past month. It just keeps popping up in the news again, like there's some sort of friction. I heard there may have been a fight, or not a fight, or an argument about The Rock getting a private jet sent to him. This is from Gallus, by the way, which is totally shocking to me. They were just released on the time before the R-Truth deal that just happened. But one of the guys from Gallus that wrestles with The Rock sometimes is like, yeah, he was kind of upset about it. I guess he was, maybe it was true, maybe it wasn't. You know how all this stuff works. But I'm willing to bet that a lot of this stuff is true, especially just look at how WrestleMania happened. It was terrible. It was the shits.
It's the shits.
The ending was the worst, and it was primarily because The Rock didn't show up to even fulfill his role so we can complete something, so we can have something to critique in the first place. Like, that's so bad, it's almost like we can't even critique it because nothing actually happened.
Yeah. The Rock needs to just be the head of the board and just not be on TV. You know, it hasn't done anything since, you know, he came back with the Bloodline stuff. That was great. But when he came back this year and just screwed everything up, he needs to just stay on the board and make Moana 3 and do whatever the hell else he's doing.
Is this Triple H possibly messing it up? Because rumor has it that he may be getting kicked out. I mean, it's a rumor, but he might be getting booted.
That same rumor is coming from a guy that said that Vince was going to buy WWE back, Jonathan Coachman, who's just for some reason been spewing out this garbage. So if somebody else credible started saying that, then maybe I'll pay attention, but no.
I think he's credible with Vince. So I think he may be a mouthpiece to the media for Vince.
Ugh.
Because it is odd that he's been saying so much, Coachman. And he's like, I know he's like, I know people that work there and I've been there and blah, blah, blah. Like he really believes. So he must be being told by somebody. And I think that somebody is the McMahons, him or Shane O'Mac. Cause I heard Vince and Shane are like super tight right now. And Triple H and them are on the, you know, the outs with them because of the lawsuit stuff and Steph and Tripp's throwing him under the bus. That's how the story fits in my mind. Am I wrong?
No, just a side note. Was anybody hearing that crap?
What happened? You're doing a Reezy.
Oh, I thought that was, yeah. I was getting flashbacks thinking that was my internet.
Let me boot him real quick and we'll come back. How about now?
Oh, frozen.
Oh, now he's... Yeah, he sounds robotic.
It's every time you talk.
Every time I talk. I sound great.
You do?
I sound masterful. Get out of here. But what do you think, Danny? Is he wrong or?
It's disappointing with Triple H. Yeah, I'm not angry. I'm disappointed. I thought he would maybe find a bit better balance than Vince did, but as we've stated recently, we found ourselves saying sarcastically, "Oh, at least we got rid of Vince," when really it's a lot of the things we didn't like under Vince has been amplified with Triple H.
Yeah. Every time I kind of fall into that, maybe was better with Vince. I just think about 2019. And I'm like, yeah.
There was a lot of shit with Vince. I am not disputing that whatsoever. But just you'd hope that Triple H would learn from Vince's lessons, mistakes, however you want to see them. But yeah.
The video today is titled WWE's Sold Out Era. I think that they're selling out hard. They're selling out fast. It's incrementally just to not shock everybody. But I notice it, and I'm being shocked every week. I just watched people get put through Slim Jim tables last night, Danny.
What?
That's what I did with my Friday night, because I'm the coolest.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not surprised. It's just, yeah, Vince times however many, 9,999. This is, yeah, and he's never going to get it back. So we have got what we've got. It could be worse. I made this point when the Thunderdome was still a thing. It's just if Disney had bought it or someone like that, it would just be fucking holograms. Or here's Pete Smith as Hulk Hogan, and they just keep reusing, regurgitating old victories.
And then Naomi came out, and she was dressed like she was a Slim Jim. It was like that neon yellow and red. It's just, I don't know, man.
For the shortest there was a little bit of Naomi that was absolutely awesome. I think it was when the Usos first turned heel, and Naomi was just like, she was a heel alongside Tamina, and I think she turned on Paige when Paige was the champion, or Paige was back home in Britain. And she just came out, Naomi that is, with a hood down like over her face, and just sort of like, she took it seriously, and she was dressed sort of like, she wasn't this giant fucking colourful bloody go-go dancer or whatever she's meant to be. I really have no idea what she's meant to be. It looks like she's some form of erotic dancer, the way she rubs herself on the floor, but then she's got little kids cheering for her, and I'm like, that can't be what she's actually meant to be doing, but I never see anything different. But yeah, for that real little bit when she was with Tamina, she was really, really good as a heel, and I thought, why did they just switch it up so quickly from that?
I like her heel right now, but then they put that big stupid red hair on her recently, and I'm like, what is this? I'm like, why would they change? She looked fine. How are you doing over there, Sleaze?
I don't know. It's the weirdest thing. Whenever you guys talk, it's so staticky, I can't understand you. It's gotten a little better now, but...
Yeah. My goodness. You sound good now. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
Everybody get liking and subscribing, right? Oh, Coach got something to tell us. Breaking news, folks.
This is breaking news.
HBK and Triple H stand in the ring for the Mexican anthem. I don't know why that's funny to me, but it kind of is funny.
Yeah.
Did they throw tortillas into the crowd like Jeff Jarrett?
They should have.
Buckets of salsa. Just start tossing it out over.
Flipping everyone off.
Yep, like the slop buckets from back in the Attitude Era.
Oh, jeez.
Reezy probably knows nothing about the Attitude Era. Yep. Tell us more about it next week, Reezy. Do you know about the Attitude Era at least? See, this Reezy, I don't even know how old he is. You know that?
How old is he? Yeah.
He could be 60. He could be 20. I don't even know. You know, I have no idea. He's got that type of thing going on. I'm like, is he my age? Is he younger?
Could be like 16, and the whole time we're talking uncensored with him.
That's right. Maybe. Are you 16, Reezy? This whole time? So that
Do you
means
have your license yet?
So you were like 6 when you first started watching us?
Crap.
Wow. Yep. We were doing it way back in the day, folks. We were doing this back when this was not cool at all to be doing, right? And now Triple H is holding all this money. They've gone international, and now everybody wants to be a part of the wrestling, right? It's not just for nerds anymore or anything, because you can make money off of it. So this leads me to Kay Adams. I know she came from my area, Sleaze, our area. If you watch New England Patriots football stuff from 5 years ago or whatever, she was the little hot sports girl that they would have come in and do the rinky-dink shows on like Comcast and, the local stations. Yeah. And she quickly moved up. Like she went from that to NFL Network and started doing a morning show there. And now she's got her own show, like Ariel Helwani. They got these big ass sets and the big desks, and they got people satelliting in, right? Do we still call it that? Via satellite. Like, so Seth Rollins is on there talking to her the other day. And I'm just like, I get pissed off about almost everything now. And I try not to, but this pisses me off. Like, just even thinking about it. So this girl, right, who just at WrestleMania a couple months ago saw The Undertaker for the first time in her life come out and ride a motorcycle out to the ring and did the whole thing with Rhea Ripley and all that. Remember that, everybody? Right. No. We don't really, but she's like, what's this guy's story? What's this guy's story? And you're gonna be interviewing Seth Rollins and all that. It's just like the Pat McAfee thing all over again, but even worse. So just so I get this right, everybody, I'm getting blown off by indie wrestlers, and Kay Adams is getting Seth Rollins. Got it. Thanks.
Yeah.
That's everybody in the world.
It's depressing to see how this world has become such a shithole. I don't know. It's depressing. Sometimes I can't sleep at night. I watch entertainment and watch it crumble as I'm watching advertisement after advertisement. And I'm just, what the hell has happened?
And everybody's buying into it. That's the part that upsets me the most. Okay, if they're going to do all that, the let's call it like the plants, like the industry plants, if you will, like they're just going to go, here you go. This is our person, Stephen A. Smith. Here you go. Here's ESPN. Pat McAfee. Here's the WWE and college football. Like they're just like giving it to people, and then they funnel everybody to that and that alone. And they're not even the best. They don't even know who Undertaker is, and they're talking to wrestlers about important Money in the Banks and what have you. And I'm over here getting blown off by Harley Davidson. Okay, make this make sense to me, please. Anybody.
WWE doesn't want that personal chit chat. They want to appear like they've got that personal chit chat, but it's a press release. It's just instead of just standing on a podium with people in chairs in front of you, it's just right. So we want that, but you need to make it look real casual. And this is what we get now. And it's just people that are able to read cue cards, read auto cues on screens, Or just memorize several. I just read off the phone. They don't even bother trying with that, do they? They just have the phone in their hand a lot of the time now, reporters, and it's just like, this is, yeah.
It's just everything's fake. Nothing is real except this. This is real. Whatever's happening here is happening, and that's not all set up. Not a big work. So wow, I'm just okay. Can't stand the media.
It's gross. It's really gross, and it's getting worse and worse. There was a thing back in the day that was called selling out, and that was a big no-no. If you were an artist, if you were into music, anything like that, like selling out was a huge thing. Now everybody sells out, and it's fine. You know, there's no pride in any of your art at all nowadays.
It's just crazy to like. I get being a corporation. They're just stupid. Corporations are just flat out dumb because what they're doing is they're just trying to maximize the dollar. But when you're in that mindset, you're going to start cutting corners. You're going to start doing things that's not best for business overall, because if your product is no good, then the money will start to hurt. But these people, they put the blinders on. They go, everything's good right now. You know what I mean? No, it's not. It's something's going to happen sooner or later. Because, I mean, if I'm even starting to think like, hey, do I really need Netflix? Do I need to pay to watch Monday Night Raw every week? Like, I really don't. You know, like, and if I'm thinking that, I know a bunch of other people are already just getting off Netflix and everything else. It's just, doing the corporate stuff. It's happening too much. And it's in so many ways, the cuts. We didn't even talk about the releases yet. They're going to release R-Truth. Okay. I'm listening to the show from last week, right? And putting it together for the podcast and whatever. And I'm like, R-Truth is going to be there forever. This is 24 hours before he gets released. I'm like, he's like a guy that should be there forever. He's always useful. I'm sure he's great with the fans. Everybody likes him backstage. Well, good money spent there. And I wasn't even sure how much he's making, but apparently WWE thinks that was a little too much.
I'm still not convinced. I'm still not buying it. It's either going to be... Sorry, have you talked about this already? Did I miss this bit? No. I'm not jumping the gun?
Nope.
No. It's either going to be John Cena got me fired, and then Cena says, oh, I did it for your own good. Or they're going to make out like, oh, yeah, we have to cut some costs, but John Cena was so kind to me that I've come back now to be his little assassin to come and just sneak attack people. I think, was it Tatanka and Ted DiBiase? Ted DiBiase spent some money and saved Tatanka's family's reservation or something, and he had to be his hired assassin for like quite a while. Tatanka would just come out just like real pissed off, but then beat people up, and Ted DiBiase would just laugh. Cena needs heat, and he's struggling to get it because ever the contrary audience, as soon as sort of like WWE says we want you to boo John Cena, everyone goes, yay, John Cena, we love you. And it's like, for fuck's sake. Mm-hmm. So now Cena has to cheer on Logan Paul.
So this is all the elaborate work.
I'm not convinced yet. I'm not convinced that it's legit. Just the way that R-Truth played it. Mm-hmm. I think they're going to let his contract run out and then offer him a Legends one, but they're going to make a little play with the angle in the meantime, I think.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Well, the new one, too, is now they're looking at people that are somewhat part-timers. They're trying to reassess the value of the contracts with the people that they inherited it. So now one of the big things, I don't know if you guys saw, is that they're going to sit down with Roman Reigns because he makes $15 million a year to be a part-timer. You know, and he's a big deal and he does draw and all that stuff, but that's a big chunk of freaking money. And back in the day, I mean, they did it for Brock Lesnar too, where he was making 10, 12 million a year doing, 15, 20 maybe appearances and not even all wrestling. I can see it on a business sense, but you got a guy like Roman Reigns, that's a tough conversation to have because you don't want to lose him, but at the same time, it is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think letting go of R-Truth at this time is, for what they're trying to do corporate-wise, makes sense because it's all about the bottom line and stuff. Plus, like what you said, let him go. If something comes of it, they can give him a Legends contract. It will be a whole big work. And I just thought it was funny that he sold a ton of those Ron Cena shirts, and then they just let him go the next day. I was like, wow, that was quick after he sold all that. But yep, R.I.P. Truth. Because remember, if you're off my TV, you're essentially
I love you.
dead.
Well, rumor has it that TNA is very interested. He used to be the, NWA TNA champion and things. He was a decent deal over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jeff Jarrett didn't let anybody else touch that thing, apart from Ron Killings, for quite a while.
Yeah, so he's not disappearing. Like, people, oh my God, they're acting like he died and all that stuff. But, they tried to renegotiate his contract. It was too low, and he said no. That's the reality of it. Is he going to come back? Yeah, he's going to get a Legends deal. He's always going to be around.
We had chants of We Want Truth at Raw, NXT, and SmackDown last night.
Yeah. You're not going to let that go.
So
it's going to stick. It's going to sting even more when he has to come back and do John Cena's dirty work, and the crowd are just going to be like, "Oh, you piece of shit, John Cena! Look what you're doing to our guy, to our Truth."
Yeah.
What a bastard!
All right, let's see what the chat has to say. King Reezy in the house out here. Coach Mysterio is being used as the ambassador. Well, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Paladin, this is why I play video games. Mac Diesel, my friend said he can't tell AI from real videos anymore. I said, what is scary is the government has had this technology for years. Exactly.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, they've had a lot of stuff for years. Most of these UFOs out here are them. You are UAPs. I love how they just like changing terminology for no fucking reason at all.
Yeah.
I hate that. Yep, it's all about the money, Paladin says. King Reezy, you're right. Mac, Google, VO shit is going to be the doom of all of us.
What? What is this crap now?
We talked a little bit about it. We can get into it more in a minute, but a couple more to read. Doctor, have you had or tried to see if Maven would do your show? I haven't, but I'll write it down right now. I'll write it Maven. Why not?
He's got a lot to say.
He's a fellow bald brown. He better or he's racist. Don't ignore me, Maven. King Reezy. Most of these indie guys want to be paid an unnecessary amount of money. Yeah, fuck that. I'm not paying it. Listen, again, I didn't pay DDP. I didn't pay Kevin Sullivan. I asked you know what I did for Kevin Sullivan? I asked around for some promotions in my area for when he comes into town, if he could like speak to them and do arrangements with them. He's not looking for money from me.
No.
Do I look like I got all the money in the world? All my money is in toys, okay? So unless you want some toys, maybe I'll send you a John Cena figure to come on. Maybe. I'll think about it. But all these people trying to get money to promote on my shit, that's a good one. Oh, my goodness. And I see people doing this out here in the podcast game. You guys are dumb.
Yeah.
If you're paying people to do your show, and then they always have problems. Always. I'm watching this. I love Kevin Brennan. It's pretty much the only podcast I really watch is MLC. I listen to Cornette a little bit, but then I watch MLC. And most people here probably don't even know what I'm talking about. But let me just go for a second. I'm going to get you guys all hip to something here. Brennan's been around. He's a comedian from the 90s, whatever. I know of him. He's always been on Comedy Central and around. He's just in and around. His brother's Neil Brennan, did the Chappelle Show, all that stuff, whatever. He's in his 60s. He's got some boomer ways and things, but you know what? He's naturally funny. So it's not like he needs all these bells and whistles and things going on. He's just funny. So that's why he's good on his show. Plus, he's very real and he doesn't mind burning bridges with everybody, which I love. Like, he's just like, fuck everybody. If he just like, he doesn't even have friends in comedy anymore. They all hate his guts. But you know what? He's right about a lot. And some people just don't like that. When somebody, he just doesn't give a fuck. But anyway, I don't even know when I'm getting into this, but I listened to that. Okay. Anyway, let's read more of your stuff. But, was I talking about indie guys?
Yeah.
I was bitching about
payment.
He pays he pays all his guests, because as harsh as he is and as much of an asshole he may be, he's actually a good person, and a lot of it is a bit of a shtick, right? So he pays his guests. He, like, all these comedians and stuff, and not even comedians, just like chatters will eventually come on. He'll pay chatters to come on, and it's always a headache. It always turns into, well, I want more, I want the same as last time, and it's like he's paying you based on what he's getting in super chats per show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, these people, most of these people out here are fucking idiots. Right. So they come on and they're like, well, you know, and one lady was just on a show the other day and she's begging for money the entire show. Like, pay me. And it's just like, can we do a show?
Yeah,
you
right.
know, why are you assuming that you're just gonna, and they play all these games to get more money? I'm not doing that. And I'm especially not doing that with indie wrestlers that throw themselves off of buildings, you know, into a fire for a hot dog.
Yeah, no. Number one rule of the show: we ain't paying you shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
Reezy, TKO is planning to cut down on a lot of money they're spending, meaning they don't want to pay these guys the crazy unnecessary amount of money. Is it really that unnecessary? Like, think about it. Like, the basketball players, the football players, and all these other pro athletes or whatever are making like hundreds of millions of dollars. Right. The WWE TKO making hundreds of millions of billions of dollars. And Roman Reigns makes 16 mil a year, and we're worried about that?
That's what I'm talking about, because if you saw on the other side how much revenue he's brought in, as far as like WrestleManias and all the PLEs that he's headlined, and, you know, personal appearances and being on talk shows and merch, how much more money than 15, 16 million has he brought in? Even if he is a part-timer. This guy carried the entire company on his back while it was the shits. Mm-hmm. You know?
100%, 100,000%. You know, I'm not like this big Roman Reigns fan, but I mean, come on. $15-16 million a year for a part-time Roman Reigns seems like a deal.
Yeah.
So go give Jaylen Brown $300 million for him to lose in the second round. That's better, right?
Right.
And Mac Diesel says, you introduced many of us to several wrestlers. Of course. A lot of people wouldn't even know who these people were if I didn't speak their name. So come on. And then I got to pay them on top of it. It's so frustrating. It's stupid. And Mac Diesel also says Brennan appeared on the Artie and Anthony show a few years back and brought a gift of a bottle of bleach to Artie. Get it? Oh, yeah. We can't talk about that on YouTube. But he tried to do something with bleach. That's why he brought him that bottle. Yep, he's
Kids
not.
Don't think that's funny, but it's funny.
He's not a fan of junkies. He made that very clear. He popped up in the news again, like actual mainstream news recently, a year or so ago, when that guy from Friends died. Because he literally just wrote like, ha, ha, ha. He was like laughing about it online, which is, you know, fucked up, of course. But that's what he was going for. And then he got attention for it. TMZ was like filming him because he always does his little bike rides before all his shows. And he was on his bike with his little helmet. And they took a picture of him looking miserable as he always does. But yeah, that's one show. Oh my God. If I ever end up on that show, that would be crazy. I'm not asking. I'm not looking for it. You know, I will get paid though. Listen, if you're going to pay everybody else, I'm going to expect to be paid. That's how this works, right? Nobody's going to expect anything from me now since I've been saying I'm not paying anybody. And you know what? Oh, no, if that hurts my show, then oh, no, right, Kevin? That's what he always says. Oh, no, I don't want to not have a great show with random ass guests that are like alcoholics and things and out of their fucking minds. Yeah, cool. So
before I do any show, I just want a pack of cigarettes. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the only alcoholic on this show. That's right. Let's go again.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
And one more. And then we'll get back into our notes. King Reezy, it's mostly the veterans, I think. They feel like the longer these guys stay, the more money they got to up them. So they want to be cheap and renegotiate for less money, which is petty. Yep. Hey, that's a way of selling out. I wonder if Vince took care of these guys better. I wonder what the actual wrestlers would say, because they wouldn't ever say that Vince was better now, but maybe he was. I know Baron Corbin said that this week. Did you hear about this, guys?
Yeah, I was just about to mention his name.
Yeah, tell us, Sleaze.
I don't know the whole story because I got snippets of it. So I don't have all the information, so I don't feel that I should be the one to give out his stuff.
All I know is he basically, I got it here somewhere, but he basically said that Vince cared about the boys, at least a little bit. Like, he's like, for example, look at The Undertaker. He literally cries about talking about The Undertaker because of the loyalty that certain guys gave him. So is he good to everybody? I'm sure he's not. But he has certain people in the business that he just won't turn his back on, especially if things get like rough. And maybe that's also why he's very, very pissed at Triple H and Stephanie McMahon and a lot of people in the business for throwing him under the bus with the whole legal issues that he's been having too. But yeah, he said he cared about talent.
Yeah, and it's
Useful
sad
talent.
because people just see this as TKO, like ruining everything and all that stuff, or they'll just put everything on Triple H. And it's sad because Triple H does have that, care about the talent and the loyalty, but then it gets snuffed out because TKO comes in and says, well, we need to, renegotiate Roman's contract. And it Triple H gets way too much flack. He's just a guy that's trying to run creative in a corporate entity that keeps trying to shove Snickers in here and Slim Jims on tables, and it's gross.
I know what everybody's really upset about. It's Valhalla leaving WWE.
I forgot she was there. Like, I have never been a Logan, fan. I never thought she had anything to really give. And when she left and then came back, I'm like, oh, why'd they bring her back? But I thought she had left again.
I didn't know she was there either. But man, to put her out third after Carlito, even, he was the second one to go. He took it pretty good. I mean, R-Truth took it really good too, but he's like, I think Carlito expected to not be there this long.
I'm surprised he's still there. I thought he'd come back just for that little bit of the gimmick with the LWO, was it? When they brought him back? Or was it Dominic?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm surprised they found something else for him, to be honest.
So,
but him and Truth, I mean, here's reality, guys. Truth has been around forever. Wrestles never. Yes, he comes out and he's entertaining and all that stuff. And I don't know how much he made, but I can imagine that he made full-time money, just from being there and getting raises, and he was a full-time wrestler at one point. So yeah, you got to look at these guys and say, okay, well, it's good, and yeah, you sold merch that one time and all that stuff, but what's the long run? What's twisting my tit is the whole Roman Reigns thing, where it's like they're trying to put him in the same bag of people that they're trying to renegotiate, like Truth and Carlito. Like, that's vastly different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, if they're worried about that 16 from Roman Reigns, everybody else is in trouble.
Yeah.
Who do you think is next to be released? Because there's going to be more, I would think. The Miz?
When Truth and Carlito came out, I said, yeah, it sucks because I like them both. They're both entertaining, but makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to think of this the other day. I don't know. I think anything else that's going to come is either people like Logan that we didn't even know were there, or it's going to be somebody that's going to piss us off,
Sheamus?
I was thinking Sheamus, but they just put him in a program with
Rusev?
Rusev. But
Rusev could go right after Sheamus.
yeah.
Because I mean, what's a Rusev right now, and what are they doing with this build? He came in with such like nothing. He just shows up one night on a Raw. I think it was after Mania, right? And and then what? Ever since then, he's been fighting Otis and all these other. And it's just, what is that? Nothing's coming of it.
Yeah, and the whole feud with him and Sheamus, it made me a little leery. Because at first I'm like, well, maybe they're not going to get rid of Sheamus because they just put him in a program. Or they're going to do the R-Truth stuff, and they're going to sit there and say, okay, well, we're going to get you big for one last time, and then you get the axe. Because I can imagine his contract, too, is pretty big. He's been around for decades now at this point, right? So he wrestles part-time.
Vince was a big fan of his as well. He was a Vince project with Sheamus.
Yeah. Triple H likes him too.
What about Natty? How is Natty still with him? She's doing everything else.
God knows.
I've been saying that for years. I don't know why she's still on the
Maybe because kids in the back there?
They could do the Hart Dynasty thing. That's what it is. I've said before about tribute acts, and they tried it with Mike McGillicuddy when he was better than perfect, but also we're not going to try and milk his family name. Charlotte Flair is another one, and before Charlotte, they had Natalia, and that was like their big sort of like previously sort of like recognized franchise within the women's division until they got Charlotte Flair.
You know what? I'm starting to think that being released is not only is it not that big of a deal, but now with TNA out there and AEW, that's gonna a lot of releases coming up in the next year or two are gonna make TNA and AEW so much stronger. Because sure, you got the Lister Blacks and the Rusevs and the whatever, and nothing really has come of a lot of that stuff when they left the company. I mean, you had the House of Black and all that, but I mean, it's whatever. I think some people are going to be more suited to being into indies, if you want to call it that, than in this WWE. The way that they're doing it, I don't think it's going to work. Like Killer Cross, I can see him getting released, or like what we would consider being demoted back to TNA or something else. So we can actually wrestle, because he's not even wrestling right now. He should be in Money in the Bank, you would think, right?
Yeah. And I'm with all the IWC, as dumb as they are. I'm with them on that.
Mm-hmm. Hey, and they finally came around to it. I was pushing through. Even when he was with the Final Testicle there, I'm pushing through. I'm like, that's my guy. I know he's good. He's got all these good ideas. He was doing those bits with Kevin Sullivan at the church, like the Prince of Darkness promos, and he's doing all this stuff and being completely ignored by the WWE. And then they got him into that thing with the Wyatt Six, which turned into the Wyatt Shits.
It's the shits.
Yeah.
And now they're back, but not to get into that right now. But the Killer Cross, you know what? Maybe it's a good thing if he gets released, because whatever this is, where he's not wrestling ever, stinks.
Yeah, and if Tony Khan was smart, and he's not, and it's really frustrating that he's not smart, because he could be a competitor. He's got the money, more than a TNA, more than any other organization out there. He's got so much money behind him. If he would just get his head out of his asshole and just hire a creative team and tell his people yes and no, he could have a Karrion Kross. He could have a Sheamus. He could have an R-Truth. And he could actually put on good shows. Because TKO at this point right now, they're so full of themselves, they don't see anybody as a competitor, because they don't look at the wrestling business that way, because they're a holding company. So all they're trying to do is they're trying to cut costs, which is making people leave. And Tony Khan could say, hey, I'm putting my shit together better. Why don't you come here? I can pay you a lot more money. And then they can put on good shows and actually be a competitor. Instead, they put on a 4-hour show on a Wednesday that got shit ratings, Mm-hmm. Aggravating.
Coach has given us some updates on Worlds Collide. Dom and Liv jumped in the ring, and he's surprised Graves is on commentary. I'm not surprised. All the
Fantastic.
good spots are for Fathead McAfee. McAfee should be doing Worlds Collide, not the other way around.
No, Doc, you've been saying that NXT has been so good, and I've caught glimpses here and there, or I see it on Twitter, and I'm like, all right. But I've been watching like full shows, and that is such a better product. Such a better product. There's actually wrestling and focused storylines, good commentary, less of the advertising. It's so good.
They do the backstage stuff. They do the out of the arena stuff.
Yep.
Like the Dawn and all the rest. Like it's like it feels like a mini watered down version of the Attitude Era, which is still better than what you're seeing on the main roster.
Yeah, it's such a better product.
I even thought about it last night, and I get it. There's a whole format to these shows and things, but I've seen enough where it's so obvious everything that happens. They go to a screen during, I forget what match it was. I think it was one of the tag matches or whatever. They go to screen. I'm watching the match. They're going through the motions, kind of. They come back. As soon as they come back, the other team starts making their comeback, and then they go to commercial again, like very shortly after the comeback. And I'm just thinking, this is fucking ridiculous. And I'm like, and now as soon as they come back from this real commercial with no screen, we're going to finish up the match and go home. And that's exactly everything that I thought was going to happen. And I didn't even have to be watching the whole match. Yeah. And they keep cutting in and out of the matches. And that's why it's pretty much these shows, you watch the first 20 minutes because there's no like, hey, here's another advertisement, and then we're going to do this. The rest of the show is this is then this, and then this, and they do it every week. But the beginning of the show, they do the same thing, but it's different. It's like a different monologue every week by different guys. So last night it was Seth Rollins comes out with his goons, and then Solo comes out with his goons. They have a little standoff and all that. Entertaining. It turns into a match, I believe, between JC and who do you take on? Oh, Jimmy Uso, because he ended up running in after they had their little group faction off. And Jimmy came in and attacked the Samoans, who turned into the match. All good. Great leading into it. They went to commercial break. They went back to the match, yada, yada. But that's it. The rest of the show, it could be even like little good pieces here and there, but it's so hard to pay attention. And then you got the very end, the last 10 minutes. And then that's it. So just watch the first 20 minutes and the last 10 minutes, and that's the show. The rest of it's just wrestling and things you can go, who won, who lost, because we all saw wrestling matches before, and they're doing it the same every single time. You want to know when the comeback is coming up? Wait for the screen to stop. That's when the comeback starts. So obvious. It's annoying.
Yeah, and like you said, with them cutting in and out of matches for advertising or whatever, it takes you out of it. You're sitting there 100% invested in the match, and you're like, oh, great moves and all this stuff. And some guys, one of the guys is getting heat, and this is going to happen. Then it just, boom. Then
a guy gets thrown out of the ring, and you're like, time to get a sandwich. Somebody just got thrown out of the ring.
Right.
It's so stupid.
It's
like we can't change it up at all. It's just going to be the same format every time for time's sake. You can't like mix and match or anything. Nope, it's just the same thing every time. So, okay.
And that's why I said, I don't know if it was last week or whatever show. Something needs to change. This stuff is getting very mundane, where it's very repetitive. It's very, we go back to the same stories. When it's going to commercial, somebody gets thrown out of the ring, and it's predictable. It's boring.
Here's a shocking story I haven't heard about until I saw this, but Liv Morgan had a stalker apparently. Yeah. And he was arrested. He might have showed up at the performance center. I think that's what it was. Remember that other guy years back that he was all crazy at the performance center, wiping poop all over stuff?
Oh yeah.
Is that who it was? Was it her that he was following?
No, not that guy. That's the I think he got shot or something there, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do remember
so I
the
think he
story, but I
died.
can't remember. I can't remember who it was. If he was actually sniffing around one person in particular, or if
That was
it
in
just-
Stamford, Connecticut, and I think this was the Performance Center. But
Right.
yeah, gotta
Well,
love
did you
these
also-
fans.
Did you also hear about the Roxanne Perez guy?
There's a Roxanne Perez stalker too.
Oh.
No, he wasn't a stalker. He was on Twitter saying that she should get killed and die.
Oh, I did see that. And Dominic Mysterio as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So it got so bad that I think it was Adam Pearce went on Twitter and said, "Yeah, we're aware of it, and yeah, we're taking care of it." And the guy got arrested.
As you should. How stupid can you be?
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a 13-year-old?
No, it was a dude. He looked like, they showed his picture. He looked like a fucking creep.
A grown man.
Grown man.
Worried about Roxanne Perez.
Yep. And then there was another one that Twitter suspended because they jumped on that bandwagon and was saying, responding to wrestlers' things, saying, "Yeah, you should die."
What?
Yeah, this is the world we live in. Sick fucks.
Who would have thought you'd close all the nut houses and give everybody a mobile phone with the internet
Right.
on it and just be like, have fun. It's everyone else's problem now.
Hey, if only I had a nickel every time I was threatened online
Yeah.
or on this show,
Yeah.
and I would have at least 80 cents.
At least. Maybe $1.
Oh yeah, that was reminds me of like this week at some point. I just start getting rapid fire messages over and over by a swastika account
Oh.
that says I hate N's and F's. And it just kept sending me messages over and over and going, "You're black and gay." And I was just like, "Oh, what of it? You hate that? Well, keep on hating, bro. Just be a hater."
Yeah.
But I think he was waiting for me to respond or at least flag him. I didn't. And I think Twitter took care of it all by itself. It was kind of weird how it happened because the messages kept coming in. I would go to the DMs and I would see him there again with a new message. And then it would just like magically disappear. And then I'd go out and I'd like send something to the Sleaze or whatever. And then I'd come back out and I'd get another message and I'd go back and it'd be there. And then it just disappeared before I could even click on it. And I'm like, yeah, this is weird. But Twitter's on it. No racists allowed, okay, guys? No homophobes allowed.
Yeah.
Don't be racist against Dr. Huge or else they'll Thanos snap you right off the internet. Yep.
I've had interactions. It was probably years ago at this point where I'm going back and forth with this kid, and he's like, "Yeah, you're probably 15 years old and living in your mom's basement." And I'm responding, I'm like, "I'd probably make more money than your whole family," and all this stuff. And it's like, God, I'm so sick of the keyboard tough guys or the guys behind their phone. Just
actually,
beat you up.
It makes me feel good because like Roxanne Perez and Liv Morgan, it's like they're thinking about me. I'm not even doing a show right now. They're out there like, "Hey, you're this and you're that." I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Got him. Got another one. Listen, if you're not getting hate mail, you're not doing it right, folks.
Right.
Okay?
And we're doing it right because we get a lot.
Yep. Bring it on. I mean, what's going to happen? I go, "Oh, man, now my whole day is ruined."
I had a guy a couple weeks ago. He's like, "Why don't you go give head to Triple H?" And I'm like, I don't
will.
like giving head.
Maybe I will. Triple H. Unless it looks like his other head.
Yeah.
All wrinkly and stuff.
That's
Laid
what it looks
fucking
like.
gig scars.
Looking like a nutsack and stuff on the sides there. My favorite is the Sleaze on stream years ago just goes, he's ironing his head right now. Ironing his head. He ironed his head for WrestleMania.
Yeah. Yeah. I was obsessed with that. I've gotten over it, but still bad.
God, I hope I don't get a wrinkly head, bro. Oh my God. That's the one thing I dread. As soon as I see a line or something come into my head, I'm just gonna like die. I'm gonna stick my whole head in ice and just hope for the best. Drown myself.
You know, I make fun, but like a little personal thing about the sleeves. In my day
You
job,
got a wrinkly head?
Yes. In the day job, I'm a welder, so it's hot, and my hair is pretty long right now, and I'm like, God, I want to shave all this shit off. So that might be coming. But I don't know what my head looks like underneath here.
It might look like a Shar-Pei.
Yeah, it might. I'm getting older. I'm getting all this crap.
Look like a bulldog.
Yeah, look
All
like
them
dog
wrinkly
shit.
heads. Like Batista and Triple H. What's that crackling sound?
I don't
I
know.
hear it every once in a while.
I'm still hearing shit too. I don't.
Testes.
Balls.
Is it me?
It might
Who
be.
knows?
I don't know. Do you hear that? It sounds like somebody's mixing a deck of cards.
That's how it was
Shuffling.
before I went out. But it was every time you guys talked. It's the internet's being
A lot of shuffling.
stupid. Yeah,
Yeah, it's every time I talk.
Reezy's not even here. So
But
what is it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's best show in the world, right, folks? Just deal with it. So I'll jazz it up with some effects and compression. Post. That's what professionals call it. I heard so Liv Morgan, I think she's safe now. They arrested him. They got him. Then Ronda Rousey is there's a chance she comes back. Do you guys want Ronda Rousey back?
I don't mind Rousey on paper, but there's a history now, and I was just sat muted for like the last 2 minutes. It can't be me. Before I spoke, I was on mute just to see, and it's Rousey on paper was a great idea, but in execution, it wasn't fantastic. I think they rushed her, getting her in the ring with a match with Kurt Angle and Trips and Steph, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. Who was it first? Was it? Yeah, it was Kurt. It was The Rock where she just got in the ring and just squared up to Stephanie. That was it. But yeah, I think they rushed that. She should have been like Steph's protection for like 6 months and just had everyone getting really angry because nobody could touch Steph. Because every time someone wanted to get in Steph's face, Rousey just stepped in and just choked him out. And then eventually Rousey turns on Steph. That would have been so much better. But instead, they were just like, right, just enough to get through a match, like on TV, sort of like pro wrestling match. And we got what we got.
The best thing Ronda Rousey did was beat up the man. You remember that, guys?
Yes.
She was talking shit to Ronda Rousey online. She mentioned her husband, and I think Ronda was like shoot pissed. And then she saw her on a Monday night leading up to that. You could tell Becky was expecting to get beat up, not in the face. They already had this conversation backstage. They said not the face. So she ended up beating up her guts in the bad way, not the good way that I do it. Beat up the guts.
I see what you did. I'm getting really tired of old talent coming back, especially in this day and age where you have a roster that's so deep and has so many good people. You don't need it. Back in the day, let's say 2015 to, past the pandemic. If your numbers were low and your product was crap and you didn't have good people and good stories and all that, bring back a John Cena, bring back a Rock. I don't think as a fan, I'm not saying as a corporate entity and a sponsor, because that's different. I don't think there's a need to be bringing back these people. And I put Charlotte Flair in that category. I put Becky Lynch in that category. Your time was years ago, and there are women on that roster that are 10 times better. So I don't know what the need is. You want to talk about getting rid of contracts? Get rid of Becky Lynch's contract.
They need the big names, though. If they're going to charge like $300 or $400 for like the nosebleed seats, they need the bigger names. Because although the other lasses might be better than Becky and Charlotte, they're not necessarily going to have the drawing power in WWE's eyes. If given a chance, they may be able to outperform them, but at the moment, WWE are just like, they're relying on John Cena, literally. So that's their big star at the minute. So the name value does sort of like still hold a bit of worth for WWE. I think and because they're snipping the contracts away and they're just trying to clean shop a little bit, they are maybe going to lean on fewer, larger contracts than more contracts that are smaller.
Yeah, and that's why I tried to make a point of like, okay, on a wrestling aspect, I don't like it, but on a corporate aspect, yes, they do need the bigger names and all that stuff. It just taints the product. But this is where the TKO bullshit comes in, and
I'm not liking where the WWE and TKO is going. I just don't like it. I see whatever happened on that first Netflix Monday Night Raw. I knew they were going to boost it up so much, and they did. They made it such a big deal that they were going to be on a streaming network, and then it's just been okay. It's been okay, not great. Then that bum ass WrestleMania happened. You had the heel turn with Cena after that in the next pay-per-view, which was a good pay-per-view overall. But again, I'm not going to remember anything from months ago, never mind a week ago, when there's wrestling every day with multiple shows and multiple pay-per-views and all this stuff. Like, who's got time for all this? It really doesn't matter as much. So maybe they're going to get away with it that way, because last night they're doing it all over again. This type of deal where it's like they're putting that title on Logan Paul.
yeah,
Sooner or later, he's out there showing it off with Cena and his title. He doesn't even have the title yet, and they're showing it off. You want to have the main Raw title?
Over Jey Uso.
Oh, over Jey Uso, yeah.
Hell yeah. I'd rather see Logan Paul with it getting heat and Cena getting heat because he's saying, hey, look at this Logan Paul. What a champion. That is a much better idea than Jey fucking Uso.
No.
Yeah.
no, and I said it last week. Jay doesn't need the belt. Jay doesn't need the belt anymore. And one of the best things I heard is, I guess he was in an interview, and he's very up to getting back with his brother and forming a tag team, which I think the tag team division needs. They can both go out and still do the yeet stuff, but now you got two of them, and the kids will love two people and buy T-shirts still. You know, even put the tag belts on them. But yeah, that belt's got to come off Jay. They gave him the shine and all that stuff. And like Danny, I would love to see a Logan Paul world champion.
He got knocked out again last night by Logan Paul. So embarrassing.
No beats.
It's great. But take that belt off. We saw it, you know, we bought the T-shirt, but let's move on.
If we're going to do this, you drop it to Logan Paul. You come back with the Usos together. You got Yeet,
No
and you got No Yeet, because that whole losing the No Yeet thing for Jimmy Uso just destroyed his character. He's really nothing right now. He had no Yeet going on, but he had to take that away. Why? Because Yeet's a thing? No, you can still be cool with each other. Now one's the blue Yeet guy, and the other guy's the red No Yeet guy. And then you just keep them together. And I don't know, you put him up against Logan Paul and his brother eventually, Jake Paul.
Yeah.
That's a good call.
There you go.
And like you said about the red and the blue shirts, now you got two shirts to sell. You got two sets of sunglasses.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Why aren't we doing this?
They need to, because Jey Uso is champion. All he does is get knocked out, jumped, beat up by everybody. And then everybody else comes out, like Cody Rhodes and Gunther, and they're all just like, he's the champion. He's a great champion. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Look at the champ here. And it's like, yeah, he gets beat up all the time. He's a nerd.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's a main event guy. I agree. He's one of the top guys because of his merch and his fan interaction and his following, but he doesn't need the belt.
Mm-mm.
Yeet.
There you go. Double yeet for you. Yep. I mean, Kevin Owens. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, as long as Jay's the designated driver, I think they can't go wrong.
I see what you're doing.
Yeah. But that too. I mean, all of Jimmy's stuff seems to be in the past now. You know, he's been doing good stuff. He's been doing everything they've wanted. You know, I think it's time for the Usos to come back. They are one of the greatest tag teams of all time. You want to boost that division? You want to boost those belts?
Do you?
Do you?
Yeah, what is it with these brother tag teams, and one of them's always driving drunk? What's the deal with that?
Yeah. One of them's always a fuck up.
sometimes it's a case of one more than the other.
Yeah.
So did you hear the news? Kevin Owens may not wrestle ever again.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's a possibility. I could see him, even if they said no, to keep getting checked and keep getting checked. Like Daniel Bryan for years. Like he's not. I don't think he's going to go away quietly. But I mean, the man does have kids and all that, and family and stuff. So just even getting neck surgery now, and you're like in your 40s or probably late 30s or whatever, it's probably time to hang it up and just get on the mic or something else because he said he was banged up before that ladder match with Cody Rhodes at Saturday Night Main Event, and that was a brutal ass ladder match. He was landing on the ladder sideways with his neck.
And it's obviously got a lot of natural padding all around his body, and he's got a bit of a fat neck, but for the sort of impact you were getting to the neck, little bit of blubber, it's not going to protect you that well. And he's a big lad, and landing on your neck and head that many times. I'm talking about his career now, not just that one match. Because even in Ring of Honor, he was doing stupid things when he was really young. But I don't think they'll give it up. A lot of them can't. They just get addicted to that rush, that adrenaline once they come out and throw themselves around, and it's a real difficult thing to give up. Everything you just said about Kevin Owens is spot on with him having a family and kids and having a fragile neck. But look at Daniel Bryan, wife, child, and every time he got in the ring, people were genuinely like, "Oh my God, he's going to die," and he still hasn't. In the ring, and it's like some of them want to. They just tempt fate so many times.
I mean, the doctor told me his neck was hanging on by a thread, Daniel Bryan. And then he finally was like, oh, okay, maybe not. Maybe.
Well, the thing with Kevin Owens, too, is I researched it. What he has going on with his neck and back is pretty much what everybody has. It's not like any given thing that he did that caused this. It's a degeneration over time. Right. So these reports saying, oh, he may not wrestle again and all this stuff, I take with a grain of salt. I take all this crap with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But it could be, and he hasn't had his surgery yet either. So why are we saying this?
I thought he did, no?
No, he still hasn't had it.
Huh.
That's why I was surprised to see him at the Hall of Fame, because I'm like, holy shit, I thought he went right into surgery. And then he was at the Hall of Fame with like no neck brace or anything like that. No, he hasn't had it yet.
It's like, why? I don't know. Maybe it's a whole hospital thing or whatever, but I don't understand why you would wait.
I don't know. And it's not a major thing. It's not like it's major enough that he can't wrestle. But I don't know why he hasn't really gotten the surgery yet.
Well, get well, Kevin Owens.
He's fat!
Sure. Then, now, forever. I want, Bronson Reed came back and he wasn't so fat anymore.
He's fat!
And then KO, I expect if he ever does come back, how is he not going to be a bazillion pounds?
Yeah, he's going to be fatter, I think.
He's fat!
Thank you, Steiner. You can now go back and lay down. Go over there. Get out of here. All right, so let's do some picks. We got some Money in the Bank matches here. Rhea Ripley, Roxy, Julia, Steph Backer, Naomi, and Alexa. I mean, that's quite the card. Do you guys have any, say, two that you're going to pick? Say, I think it'll be one of these two.
Go ahead, Danny.
Well, it's just
Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, she doesn't need it. It doesn't elevate her in any way. But then it didn't do that to Brock. Brock didn't need it, but they still gave it to Brock at one point, who was a brilliant Money in the Bank holder while he was going around with the boombox for a while. Yep. Could be one of the newer lasses.
Roxy.
It's just some. This is the problem. Every time they have a gimmick pay-per-view, whether it be Hell in a Cell or Royal Rumble, they have to have the female version as well. So that one of these, the men's or the women's, isn't necessarily going to be like the first choice of like, oh, so we're going to do this concept match to get this result. Whereas then it's like, oh, well, we're putting this in, for equality and that lot, and we don't really have anything fancy for this, so let's just give it to so-and-so. and it could be quite throwaway in that way. And generally, sorry, but it's normally the lasses that is just sort of like not the main event.
Well, I'm going with. Well, tell us, Sleaze, what are we going to go with first?
I think it's going to be Stephanie Vacker, but I would love it to be Alexa Bliss. I think the smart move is Stephanie. The fan move for me is Alexa Bliss.
Yep. I can't see them picking Vacker or Julia because they're just so close, and I think they have other things to do. And also, neither one of them speak like great English, so you're gonna want somebody that's gonna be able to talk. So I'm gonna go with it's either Alexa or Roxanne Perez, because I think they moved all these women up for something. One of them would probably win this, and Roxanne can talk on the mic, so.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think she'd be super fucking annoying for like a year. You know?
Does Seth Rollins' faction have a female member yet?
No. Well, it can't be. Roxanne wants to be Judgment Day.
Right. Well, see, then there could be an opposite for it in Seth Rollins' faction. If Alas has the Money in the Bank briefcase and comes down with Seth and Braun and that lot, it's like, well, this is your situation has got even worse.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And then, sorry, but the actual point was that they've got Heyman then, or other people to speak for it if whoever it is, if it's one of the two lasses who's not great at English, wins it. So they could work around it.
This should be one of the better women's Money in the Banks. Let's not forget, just recently we had like Lacey Evans and a bunch of other like those types in there. You know, they were generally the gimmick matches for the ladies are really sloppy and boring. They're Royal Rumbles, they're War Games. They generally all fucking stink. So maybe this will be something tonight because of the three coming up. You know, Rhea's pretty solid. I'm not feeling the whole Rhea Ripley thing. Every time the crowd goes nuts and pops for her or whatever, I'm just like, whatever. She comes out, does the Cody Rhodes smile at everybody with an extra tattoo every time. It's very phony. Like, I'm not saying she's a phony person, like, but just the character in itself is just like, all right, I get it. You're the goth chick and all this stuff. And then the crowd just goes nuts. And then she gets on the mic and I'm like, oh, this stinks. And
the smiling is just it's like someone stabs me in the neck every time she does that little grimace.
Yeah, Cody's way worse, by the way. Like I can't stand that. That big Jim Carrey, the mask smile he does when he comes out, and the double fist pumps and the explosions. He had 3 explosions last night. So, for example, let's just talk about this real quick. So, Seth Rollins has a great SmackDown last night. The only thing that was really entertaining, he started the show. They brought him out and his goons, I believe, against LA Knight and Aleister Black. Not for Aleister Black to get LA Knight beat him up, because LA Knight is in this Money in the Bank. Makes sense. They came out and who else did they attack at the end of the show? I wrote it down here somewhere. Attacks LA Knight, stalks Andrade and Penta because they're both in that match too. They start beating them up. And then at the end of the night, Cody Rhodes then shows up. Comes out, confronts all of Seth's guys and Paul Heyman. Yep, it's on your side. Oh my God. That's fine. And
kick me out.
Get out of here. Kick me out. And so at the end of the show, they win. They beat up everybody, in the space. And then fucking Cody Rhodes comes out. Just Cody Rhodes. Double explosions, fist pumps, goofy smiles, walks into the ring. And then he starts talking. Well, he's about to talk to him. And Seth Rollins is just holding everybody back. Oh no, we can't do nothing to Cody Rhodes. We don't want to mess with this guy, even though you got Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed next to you. And then he gets them all out of the ring. Cody Rhodes, basically, his power. He's so good. He managed to get the bad guy Seth Rollins faction to just leave the ring. And that's when the whole end of the night happened. Jey Uso then comes out. John Cena, Logan Paul, they disrespect him, take their belts, hold them up. that whole bit. And it's the shits. Cody Rhodes is that strong. He's going to come out and make a faction like that, a badass faction you put out there and you want us to believe in. They're just going to go, oh, no, we can't do anything right now. Not to this guy. We'll fuck with the Samoans. We'll fuck with these people, everybody. Not Cody Rhodes. Too cool for us.
Sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So what do you think about this, boys? I mean, Cody Rhodes is going to come back, beat Cena, save wrestling?
Gee, I hope so.
Maybe Seth and his lads didn't want to get any of that shit on them. It's like, yeah, we could beat him up, but then we've got to handle him and touch. Yeah, let's just fucking go. We've listened to his podcast. Let's just go.
I mean, I get it story-wise. Like, Seth's already got some friction with a whole bunch of people, CM Punk, the Samoans now after last night, everything else. So does he really want to start getting back into it, Cody Rhodes, when he's already got his business going on? It's just the way that they did it. It's like everything was perfect up until that point. That I even wrote online, I said, don't let him cut a shitty promo again. Just beat him up. Like, what are you doing? You're going to let him come out there and pop all his explosions and get on the ring post and in front of everybody and pop more explosions. I would have beat his ass before he got up to the, on the ropes, celebrating his entrance. You got two badass dudes in there with you, right? You got a guy that you're calling the badass, and Cody Rhodes is going to come out in a suit and all that and peacock in front of him. Yep, got it.
You know what's one of the worst things they're doing lately, too, is they can't just have a run-in where somebody or two or three people just beat the crap out of somebody and then they just move on. They always got to come out, they got to beat up somebody, then they run out of the ring, then they have to grab the mic and they got to go, blah, blah, blah. What do you want to talk about?
What do we want to talk about?
Mm-hmm. So anyway, we do have that Money in the Bank match tonight as well. Solo Sikoa, LA Knight, Andrade, Penta, and Grande Americano, who I think could be a dark horse in this. Think about it. Why wouldn't they give him the Money in the Bank? He could come out there, play his games, and then maybe even go after a AAA title or something else.
He's getting the Pat McAfee rub, where Chad Gable's getting everything. They're shoving him right down your throat.
Or he's about to win it, and immigration just run in and mistaken identity angle, and they just drag him out, and that's his out. It's like, I would have won that bloody Money in the Bank, but they ran in and they took me into a van and they threw me over the border, and now I've got to get back now. I got too deep into this gimmick.
Well, they better not have me at an event when they try that. I'll stop it. I'll get in front of the van. They'll have to run me over, and they will, and then they'll take them away.
And then when they do that to Chad Gable, right before it, they're going to be like, and who called ice? And it'll be JBL.
Yeah, JBL. Yep, him on the board is still one of the best vignettes, if you want to call it that, ever. Like him going, I see a herd of Mexicans. There's a herd of them. A herd.
You want to make a splash down in Mexico? Bring JBL.
Yeah, he's kicking guys over and go, yeah, you get out of here. JBL's here. Wow. We need more of that in our wrestling. Yeah. Yep.
It'd probably get cheered now, though. It was meant to be heelish tactics, and most people now I think would be like, yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, that's what we want.
You know how everybody says, though, they're like, oh, if they ever did this now. And it's like, you know what? We already say Trump's in office, right? This is Trump's America now. We should be able to say whatever we want. I've been censored more than ever since he got into office. But I'm trying to make sense of it. I thought we could say things again, right? Maybe some
Not
people
on,
can save
not
it.
on this one. No.
Oh yeah, right. Not on here. Yeah.
You know, they keep dangling it like a carrot. Like you can say the R word again. No, you can't.
Mm-hmm.
You can say the F word. No, you can't.
I'm just gonna do it. The bots don't like it, which they don't. They listen. TikTok is like they're messing with me. I'm bringing this up every week. Did you see, Danny? I posted again this week. Last week they didn't let me play Tekken because I didn't talk enough. I wasn't talking enough while I was playing Tekken. So I'm like, okay. So they sent me a thing right in the middle of my stream. We're restricting the stream. We'll allow you to stream, but we're not going to show it to anybody. Okay. And then this week, I tried playing a zombie game, right? So I'm on there for like 15 minutes playing a zombie game, talking, blah, 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 blah. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. They hit me. I see another thing pop up, restricted. And I'm like, what is this restricted for now? And I'm reading it, and it says, the themes in this may unsettle some people. And that's what, and it goes against community guidelines. And I'm like, wow. And remember a couple days before that, they didn't let, I had to appeal that I wrote in a comment section that Dave Portnoy stinks. And they actually took it down and hit me with a thing and all that. I had to appeal it, and they go, oh, okay. After they looked at it, oh, you can say somebody stinks, I guess. But they're just, anything I do on TikTok, they're like hammering me.
Yeah, the bastards. There's a women's rights activist from over this way that's just had her TikTok account just destroyed, just blown up because people complain about it. I think was it 60,000, maybe more? But just gone. In fact, yeah, I think maybe 600,000. But yeah, she had a lot of followers, and TikTok's obviously got quite a good reach for certain groups of people. And they've just nuked her account. Gone, the bastards. They really are. So you can't say anything on there. You can't say anything on the old YouTube, really. But I was permanently banned on Twitter like 4 times before Elon. And yeah, I've still got my same account. You just have to appeal it. You have to appeal it and appeal and appeal. And eventually they'd just be like, oh, you know what? Just fucking have your account back.
TikTok won't let me appeal.
But
it let me appeal a comment. It wouldn't let me appeal suspensions or anything else. It still has me technically suspended. I can't use this to go on there with this show. So I can't do my show on there.
And the saddest part is, if you had a bunch of sponsors and like 1 million followers and all that stuff, they would never bug you. Because you don't pull them in money, they're going to say, oh no, you can't say that.
I literally heard people talking about this that are like in the game in Silicon Valley and things, and they're like, YouTube will only deal with people that they consider big fish.
Right.
So you'll only be able to message them or have them look at something that's messed up on their side, what they're doing to you and your channel and stuff, if you have a super large following.
Exactly.
You know, they restricted us on YouTube day 1 in 2016. So that's probably why we're still under 200 subscribers when we should. There are some shows, and I'm not even kidding you, they fucking stink. These shows are bad. You know, it's not their same general premise where it's talk about wrestling here and there, but it's so boring. There's nothing going on. 20,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Because it's just normal. Like, you've been around for years, you're going to accrue some subscribers, right? Not us. Man, we must just be really that bad where all my DMs are full up and everybody's talking to me and everybody's interacting with me on all these platforms and things. And everybody tends to kick me off or suspend me. Facebook's done it. Twitter's done it before, even though Twitter's the best one out of the bunch. Like, go figure that. TikTok, of course, is almost like unusable. Like, you could tell they want to get rid of me, but they just can't because they can't, like, I mean, they could, but I haven't done anything to warrant any of this. It's a mess. And everybody complains about it, and nobody can get in touch with anybody. It just sucks. It's like, what are we supposed to do out here other than get our own servers? It costs so much money to do all that. It's like 10, 20. We're talking about like in the 20 grand a month if you want your own servers and to bypass these platforms. You can't bypass the platforms, so they have a stranglehold on everybody, and the shitty ones get to move on, and the ones like us that have been restricted since day 1, I guess, just get left to the side. I tried the whole build start another channel and everything. Doesn't work.
No, and it's a rat race because you know that certain entities are controlling things. Let's go into a conspiracy thing.
Yeah, why not?
They want a certain product out there, all right? So what they tell you is, as a general just person that wants to do things, okay, so you can get sponsors if you get so many followers, right? So people like us, they'll restrict with the followers and all that stuff. So we aren't able to sit there and get monetized or get sponsors or any of that stuff. But if you have somebody doing a jackass show like I Show Nostrils and all that stuff, that's the kind of product they want to put out. So they'll make it easy for them to get into the door.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they just, you know, whoever doesn't want this kind of product out. So that's why it's being held down. Even though I believe we can make people a ton of money. But they don't see it that way because they want to put out a certain thing.
Is that Mulder?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Put him real close.
I got that same figure. I got Scully, too. That's
Well,
old school.
Speaking of all this conspiracy business, the big beautiful bill is still trying to be signed and all this stuff. Anybody notice how big beautiful bills is 3B's just like Build Back Better?
Oh, boy.
It's the same thing, right? But a lot of this, what I've been hearing is the AI stuff. They want, you know, they don't want to be sued for anything or taken the task for anything AI over like 10 years. But then they want to surveil us and take all our data and put it all in the same place and all this stuff. I'm telling you, this is the beginning of the end. I don't think this is the beginning of anything good. Like there are people out there going, oh, the AI is going to be great and blah, blah, blah. And then there's people going freaking out another way. Oh, they're going to take all the jobs and all this stuff. And that's why they have all these bunkers and things. Because when the fallout happens from AGI, then, you know, everybody else can just eat each other on the surface, right? So I don't know. I'm not liking it, but it definitely fits into all this stuff. It's like what's the point? You know, like if I can't get over 200 subscribers on YouTube in the year 2025 and AI is already banging things out. People are starting AI channels they're monetizing in 7 days.
Yeah.
7 days. And they're like a lot of like 13-year-olds with fucking nonsense cat videos and stuff, like just mind-numbing nonsense. So if you're listening to this right now and you want to fight against the robots, hit the subscribe button. Tell everybody that this show exists. I mean, come on. Can we not get over 200 subscribers ever? Like, what's going on? YouTube.
You don't want to get with the robots because they get touchy-feely. You don't want that.
Well, maybe I do. Maybe I do.
We do.
I should look into Twitch or Kick. I had Twitch. I've been an affiliate on Twitch. I'm still an affiliate there. Haven't used it as much. I started doing putting up some of the early shows when I came back on here on Twitch. 3 people. It's like you're non-existent on Twitch either. And they also marked one of my videos on there as sexually themed because I had a picture of some stripper rappers up on the screen. So I can't show even. So on a platform where they had body painters and bikini streams and all this shit, I can't put up women clothed on a broadcast. Got it. Again,
no, because you're not making them money.
What is going on? It's like no matter what I do, every platform has gotten after me at some point. Every single one.
Put the bikini on and get in the paddling pool now.
Oh my God.
Nobody cares about you finishing Super Mario World unless you get in the bikini pool now.
Yep. -5 viewers if I do that. But yeah, I mean, it's upsetting. I'm going to keep doing the show. I'm pushing through. I don't care. I'm getting through. Some people are finding us. I don't know how they're doing it, but they're finding us. Yep. Time.
Gross.
Yeah, it's almost 4:30 here. Yep, we got plenty more we could talk about, but we could also save it for next time. A few other things I just want to mention before we start signing off here. Teespring is terrible. I'm not going to advertise that anymore. I'm taking out the account because I had money in it even from 10 years ago that I totally forgot about. And after that, I'm locking that store up because they're fucking useless. And I still don't have the stuff I ordered in April. So I can only assume there's people out here, maybe even Paladin, they also don't have their things. And they ordered it months ago. And that's just not going to... I'm not dealing with that once I start selling like a lot more stuff. So, so that's happening. I'm going to be trying to tune all this shit up. I'm getting a lot of Indian people in my DMs saying that they can fix everything. Guess what? I can fix it myself. I'm not paying anybody. And this is what I always tell all these bots and people on there. I'm just like, if this is about money, you're in the wrong place. Yeah. So if you want money, go DM somebody else. And they never get back to me. And I'm like, yeah, they get it. If you're here for money, oh, I want to help you with this. I want to help you with that. I want help with this. Go help your fucking self. Because there's no money here to get from helping me.
Just try and sell them something. That's what I do with cold callers. Anyone that ever phones me up and tries to sell me a product, I'll just look at what's around and be like, oh yeah, I sell these spells on Etsy. Would you like to get back a spiteful bit of revenge on an ex? Or so? They soon fuck off. As soon as you start selling them something, they soon go.
That's a good idea. I'm just going to start selling everybody else my stuff. Go, hey, let me help you. I have T-shirts.
Yeah, right. There you go.
Yep. That's the way to do it.
A few other quick notes. Stephanie Vacker sent me a DM this week, everybody. So I'm going to be dating Stephanie Vacker soon. So I'm sure she'll come on the show because she's my girlfriend, right? Hello, dear. Thanks for the comment. Welcome to my private X handle, where I finally made a decision to text with a humble and devoted fan. What's your name and where are you from? I can't believe she can type in such good English.
Yeah, right.
Yep, well, I'm from the DrHUGEshow. My name's Dr. Hugenstein, so see you soon, Stephanie Vacker, right? This is probably how the stalking begins.
Yeah.
Hey, she's the one that started it, not me. Mariah May showed up this week on NXT to everybody's surprise. They actually kept that pretty quiet.
Yeah, they did.
So good for them. That happened. Rikishi... he was in the news this week saying how he wants to basically write his son's stories because the WWE's doing it all wrong. They're fucking his boy all up.
I know, because Rikishi, has so much input that would really help the product. That's why he doesn't have a job there.
Would you at least hire him just for the Jey Uso stuff? And then imagine what he would do, right? And like next thing you know, he's like winning King of the Ring and all this.
Yeah. The Usos have peaked with sort of like... I mean, I'm not saying they don't sell T-shirts, because Jey obviously does. But they're doing pretty much the same thing as they did when they were a tag team to start with. The only thing is they don't have the face paint. They come out, they do some call and response with the fans. They've got like hand gestures and they've got the crowd dancing and it's a good warm-up match. But they are obviously bigger than when they started off, but they're pretty much still just doing the same shtick. I don't think Rikishi's going to add anything to it other than to be like, oh yeah, just put more belts on them. They don't need that. They were fine as like an opening contest or a kickoff show, warm-up. It didn't need to be anything else. Not everybody's going to be the main event, even if you put main event in their bloody name.
I wonder if it was Rikishi's idea back in the day to have his ass as the main focus of his character.
I doubt it.
If that's the case, then we don't need your help.
He'd be like, and then Jey pulls his pants down and puts his ass in everybody's faces, right?
Right. And then they shut the lights off and he dances.
What? And then they make Jimmy Takes You Home.
And our last story here. This is I'm watching these podcasts this week. Eric Bischoff was live last night, I believe, before SmackDown. So I'm listening, I'm watching, and one of the best things about not having sponsors, not having these people blow us off and act like we're nothing and all this stuff, the funniest thing to me is at least we can be honest and we can be real, because I'm watching this show and they're hawking Blue Chew and Tacoma boots and this and that. I'm goofing on it in the chat and everybody's laughing. I'm like, yeah, I'm eating Blue Chew right now, wearing Tacoma boots and doing this. I'm like naming all their sponsors. I'm like, I'm doing it all at once. And I'm gonna buy this guy's book that you just had on, because it's selling every minute. Same thing with Coronet. So, it's nothing really about that. But I'm just thinking to myself, man, this must suck having to hawk all this stuff constantly, and it breaks up your show so much that how can people like really be invested and listen for long periods of time when every 5 minutes it's like, and buy these boots and eat Blue Chew and get hard-ons and whatever. So one thing they had going was what's his name, the herpy derpy guy that talks like that, the southern accent, Conrad. He puts up UFC UFC 316, right? Because it's a mixture of UFC, and he's like, look at that. And then Eric Bischoff comes back on screen and he's like, yeah, man, that's cool. And I'm sitting there going, no, it's not cool. What's so fucking cool about a UFC shirt that says UFC in 316? And these guys all like, yeah, man, that's cool, blah, blah, blah. If that ever happened on this show, we would be goofing on it so bad because it's a black shirt that says UFC 316. What does that mean? What is that for? Who is this for? And they're like, yeah, and they just kept going on. Oh, man, yeah, that shirt. Whoa, that's it's just, fuck this. And I laugh. I'm like, I can't watch this anymore. They're like, because they have to say nice things about everything now, especially if it has to do with the WWE or TKO. So to me, it's like you're instantly shilling, Yeah. I don't want it. And we don't do that here, okay, folks? So just had to point that out. Now, go to the YouTube channel, Dr. Huge Show. I still try to look up Dr. Huge Show, and it says, do you mean drugstore? No, I don't mean drugstore. Dr. Huge Show. Stop putting drugs. It has nothing to do with drugs, okay? So, people out there, we need your help. You need to spread the word. You're not doing a good enough job, Paladin, Coach. Do better. Would you even want a non-fat KO? Absolutely not.
No.
But you got to tell people about this show because I'm sick. I'm sick of not having people respect us. And the only way anybody respects us is if these numbers rise a lot more. It's the only way I can get the respect out of them. The talent, they're like, oh, whatever, who cares? A little bit, a nice hardcore following. Oh, who cares about that? Well, how many numbers you got on your social medias and things? Oh, you mean all the places where they're censoring me?
Right.
Yep. So thank you guys for the help, at least. Danny, Sleaze, do your plugs, please.
DannyDamage.co.uk. Follow me on Twitter at BluntDamage. Waffle on about loads of different shit, not just wrestling, but happily we'll chat wrestling. Sleaze.
I'm at the SLZ52 on all platforms. I usually have my QR code, but it's gone. Higher Love Creation does all my promoting videos and everything. Check her out.
That's right. Stud. Look at that muscle. Look, I got big muscles and I don't even work out. How's that happen?
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Danny? Oh, he doesn't have any muscles. He's embarrassed, guys.
I have a 4-month-old child who is like a living, growing kettlebell.
Oh, you just do curls with her all night? Or
I can't lift my arms up. Oh, no, I'm too tired.
They're so veiny, like bulging. All right, everybody. So here's all my links. Get that QR code there. Got the store. Got multiple channels on YouTube. Subscribe to all of it. Get your notifications. Like this stuff. Like this video. Got the podcast on Apple. I'm still pumping up the TikTok because, I'm allowed on there. They just won't let me, get ahead. So maybe you can help me with that. I got my comics. I still can going through a whole selling spree eventually and whatnot and all this. My music. Oh, my God. So much stuff. So it's all here on the link tree. Thank everybody for watching. Thank you guys for coming on. And we will see you next Saturday. And you'll be hearing from us on all the social medias, whether they like it or not. Have a good day, everybody.
Dr. Huge Show. Oh God, I got such a headache.